Hello everyone, welcome to MacDee. Today I'm joined by Mr. Black, who is the assistant band director and teaches AP Music Theory here at Centennial High School. And so it's pretty exciting, our first interview. Thank you for being on here. So you were in the Marine Corps for 4 years, you did your 4 years.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with our warm-up questions.
Okay.
What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Favorite fast food actually I just got today is Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's, okay.
I love it, yeah.
So I think is that just a southern thing?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Just like fried chicken, sweet tea.
Yeah, that's your go-to?
Sweet tea, yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite holiday and you are allowed to choose your birthday? If you feel selfish.
I think I'd go Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah,
okay.
Just like all the decoration and stuff, especially right now, like I'm just starting to get into decorating.
All the music and stuff, yeah.
The music.
The big build-up.
I just love it. The weather.
Yeah, it's getting a little cooler. What's the favorite place you've traveled to in the U.S.?
Oh, in the U.S.?
For any reason or for whatever you like about it?
Probably New York City.
Okay.
Just there's a lot of, like, so many different things to see and do.
Yeah.
Like, even if you just go like 3 blocks down the road, like, you'll see like a different kind of culture, different foods, different things.
Like that. It's super cool. Okay, so now we're just gonna dive into your pre-training.
Yeah.
So why did you join the military? What was your reason for it?
One of my big things was I didn't know what I wanted to do. My senior year of high school, I knew I wanted to do something with music.
Okay.
Because I was good at it, so I was like, well, why not? But also, like, my brother went to Texas Tech. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So my initial thought was like, oh, I'll just go to Texas Tech for...
Yeah, just follow your brother.
Whatever, yeah. But it was one of those, like, I could tell, like, I didn't really want to. I didn't have a passion in it.
Yeah.
And it was a real weird way of how everything happened. I randomly got a phone call, and usually the recruiters would call everyone, and I'd never answered before, but just randomly, like, my mom answered and told me it was the Marines, and I was like, yeah, I'll take this call for this. I'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I wanted to audition, and I was like, well, do you know I play trumpet?
Yeah.
But, okay, well, like, someone wrote down my name on the list, and my number, and they called me, and I was like, alright, yeah, let's see where this goes. And then from there, like, it was just something, I went through the audition process, and it was something that was like, well, it gives me something to work on, something to do musically. And then I ended up finally passing all the auditions, and like, the moment came, they're like, alright, here's your contract. Like, oh.
Right.
Like, I hadn't really honestly
you're just doing it for the music,
And I was like, this is like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, I wasn't ready for college. I didn't want to do college.
Right.
And it was something that my grandpa was in the Army Air Corps back in World War II. And it's something like him and I had talked about a lot.
That's cool.
I always, like, he's got photos with the old bomber he was a navigator with. So that I've always been fascinated with, like, that part of his life. So maybe there's, like, part of me that, like, kind of like, well, I kind of get to follow in his footsteps.
Yeah, still following your family. That's cool. So I think first and foremost we should say that you did music in the military, so that was your main push for it. So when you actually had to leave for training, what was the hardest thing about leaving for you? Or was it easy? You were just like, bye mom, I'm going off, doing weird things. At
first it was easy. And I was kind of like, because I've gone through similar situations before where I'd be gone all summer.
Oh, okay.
And it was something similar where I was like, okay, well, 13
weeks is about like the summer, so. And
then it was like, about like a month in where I was like, I don't know when I'm going home next.
Yeah.
And it was that feeling where I was like, so it was like a delayed reaction. And it was that kind of like, it hit me, I'm like, I knew my contract was 4 years at that point. I'm like, this is going to be...
Yeah, like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is going to be
Can't really
a big
get out
thing. No, this is not just a summer thing. I just hadn't really thought about that. And especially when my duty station was Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So especially when I got to D.C., there was no set, hey, after 13 weeks, you get a week off, and then you go back.
Right.
So it was like I got to D.C. and I was like, I don't know when I'm going home next. Whether it's going to be in a year from now or like next like month. So that was like a big like, see what happens.
Like this is what I'm doing. Yeah. So speaking of training, do you have a funniest memory from training? Whether it was you making a mistake or somebody else that just got smoked?
Man, from like boot camp or just?
Yeah, you can be a boot camp, MCT,
Yeah.
A school, whatever.
Part of it was towards the end of boot camp. We go through the crucible.
Yes.
And like the 3-day process, and in there we go through the gas chamber.
Oh, okay.
We have
I
the
didn't realize
gas
it was that
mask
night.
on. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we have the gas mask on when we go in.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they have to start doing cardio exercise like jumping jacks and such.
Right.
We have to take the mask off.
Yeah.
And we have to sing the Marine Corps hymn and all this basically get it in our lungs. We have to put the mask on and clear it out.
Right.
And it burns. It burns real bad. Like you got tears coming down. You're just like can't open your eyes. And sure enough, finally you're in there for I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And then you come out. And there's one guy that we're just going out single file line. This one kid is freaking out.
Oh no.
He just was panic attack or something. And so they let him get his bearing back together, and they're like, alright,
get back in.
Go back in.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, you had to go back in the chamber?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they made him circle back around. And it was one of those, I'm like, I don't know that
Yeah, I'm
kid.
glad I kept it together.
It was kind of we all just kind of started laughing just based on what the kid was like, his personality. That was kind of real
It's like,
also pretty fun to watch.
for sure. What do you think was the hardest obstacle that you faced? You think it was the gas chamber or the crucible in general?
Physically or mentally?
Let's do physically.
Physically, I would say. Well, I guess this is tying into. Man, if they knew about this, I'd get in so much trouble. At the time, I caught pneumonia in boot camp.
Oh.
And it was right before phase 2.
Okay.
To where if you're not 100% going to phase 2, they put you in one of their medical platoons, and basically they hold you there until you're back to 100%, right. And there's an open spot. So it's kind of you could be there for a month. Some people were there 3-4 months.
Yeah.
So I caught pneumonia, and I was like, I'm not getting held back.
Yeah, you want to get done.
So I went to medical. I got the medicine for it. And when I got back, I just told them, I was like, oh, they just gave me some basic cold medicine. Because a lot of people got sick. I didn't tell them it was pneumonia, because they would have dropped me.
Yeah.
So then it was went on to phase 2, and we're just doing all this still physical activity, and I've got pneumonia, I can't breathe. I'm that was one of those, I'm this was not a smart idea.
Yeah.
But I'm alive.
But you managed to get through it, so that's good. Was there ever a time when you got in trouble? Or got someone else in trouble?
Man. I think everybody got in trouble.
I'm sure it was that they just got in trouble.
Even then, you didn't have to get in trouble for them to yell at you. I just remember so many times, I can't remember specifically getting in trouble. It's more so just, I remember one of the guys, usually each one of the drill instructors would pick different people to really dig into. I remember this one guy, he was 6.5 feet tall, black guy, and man, he would not get off my back.
Oh, a drill instructor.
Yeah, and it was just one of those God, no matter what I was doing, he would always find a reason to yell at me. But he at the same time, he was hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
And it was one of those what was really cool is the final, we do the crucible, and then we're there one last week.
Yes.
And during that week, we've earned the title Marines, and so it was really cool, that week getting to talk to him, as a person, and understanding his personality. And he was I still love that guy.
Yeah.
He's an awesome person.
That's so cool. Did you graduate as a private, or were you a private first class?
Private first class.
So what did you graduate up for?
For the music enlistment program.
Oh, okay. So they bumped you up for that? That's cool.
Yeah, so I already had an automatic for that one.
Cool. How did MCT compare to boot camp?
Honestly, not as bad.
Yeah, because you're a Marine now, so...
Yeah. Physically, it really sucked.
Okay.
We did a lot more hikes. We did a 5K, a 10K, a 15K.
Oh, wow.
And so we did a lot longer hikes, and they were up all these hills and around this mountain. A lot more physical activities. But at the same time, you're Marine. It was one of those if you got yelled at during that, you straight up.
You really.
They didn't just find reasons.
That's good.
So it was physically a lot more demanding.
Okay. that's 29 days, right?
Yeah, right.
29 around that day. Okay. So then, for music, I don't even know. So you go boot camp, MCT, and then what do you do for MOS school?
So for the majority of the music program, they go to, I want to say it's North Carolina, I forget exactly where,
Okay.
or Virginia, and there's a Navy music school down
Okay.
up there. But for the unit I went to, in the Drum and Bugle Corps, we just go straight to DC.
Okay.
Because what we do is so specialized and different from what the rest do. And we just go to DC and we just do kind of like on-the-job training.
Okay. So you just kind of thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
Just kind of see where you go.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's cool. So that was your first assignment? Was you went straight there? So how long were you there? Did you go anywhere else?
I was there for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, DC was my only duty station.
Okay.
From there, we did a lot of traveling. Like, we traveled to really any kind of ceremonies around the world. Like, we went to Iwo Jima on, I forget which anniversary. I want to say the 75th anniversary, or maybe that's right. And we did like a ceremony between the Japanese and the American veterans. And it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
We went to Okinawa. We went to France, like to Belleau Wood. Where else? Canada. We went to a lot of like out of the country for like ceremonial purposes.
Did you attend any other schooling while you were in DC? Like true, like you went somewhere else for schooling for a couple weeks or anything like that?
Yeah, I did. Like for my personal sake, like 2 years in, I started going to Phoenix online.
Okay.
Just to get my basic,
just your,
all that stuff out of the way. Because at that point, it was kind of where I was like, well, I don't know if I want to re-enlist or if I want to get out. So it was like, well, if I get out, then it's like,
you have something.
I've got that.
You've got something done. Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, did you ever think about being an officer, like going to school and then coming back?
I thought about it. That's what I was considering. And I was definitely considering, like, and even leaning towards, like, staying in for 20.
Mm-hmm.
Just staying in, whether all with that unit, or maybe shifting to a different musical unit, or just shifting to a different job completely. I was pretty set on staying in 20, and then retiring with pension. I mean, I'd retire by 38.
Exactly. Yeah.
But and it was funny. It was like about a year out from my contract, not even, was like I had a day where I got put in a scenario where I had to lead the whole unit.
Yes.
And there's just something like what they're doing right now in Manhole, where I did that all day. And it was like I went back home, like, or to my room that evening, and
to reflect.
It was like that clicked where it was like, man, this is what I want to do.
This is your passion.
Yeah, so like that next week I went to the command and told them, I was like, hey, I'm not going to re-enlist. I've decided I'm going to go back home, go back to college, and I'm going to go into music education from there.
Super cool. So, out of all the places you traveled to, all over the world, where was your favorite place that you went to?
That would be Iwo Jima. Yeah. That was just, it was so, I don't know if eerie is the right word, but like,
it's like mysterious in a way.
Yeah, and it's just so like nostalgic, kind of, just knowing what all history happened there. Because like we had time off to where we could travel the entire island. We went up Mount Suribachi, and we could see like the monuments on the top of the mountain where they had just like these kind of tiny markers where anyone who went would leave their dog tags. And a big tradition is, you would leave your dog tags, and one of the guys we went with, he ran logistics for us.
Okay.
And he had been in combat for a long, I want to say he was infantry for maybe 6-7 years.
Okay.
And he had just recently switched over. And so he was there, and I mean, he's lost, I can't think of how many brothers, and he had their dog tags. So when he went to the top, he put his dog tag there, and all of their dog tags also.
Yeah.
Like they never got to go there, but like in their memory, he kept them, saved them, and brought them to Iwo Jima, which is like one of the biggest monuments for the Marine Corps. Yeah. And just like seeing that place and knowing how much that place means to the Marine Corps was like incredibly like it made you speechless just seeing it and knowing knowing what had happened there, how that changed the course of history.
Yeah, for sure.
That was definitely the best place.
Yeah. Do you think that's similar to when the USS Indianapolis sunk? They had people who died after. They would have their ashes there where the ship was. Do you think it's similar to that with this monument, to where veterans would come back and put their dog tags there and like as if they should have died there or something like that?
Absolutely. It's just one of those like, I just gotta pay my respects in any way I can.
That's so cool. Did you get a chance to interact with the natives and the culture there? You said you had time to explore the island.
Yeah,
so.
and that was really cool because like when we were on Iwo Jima, again, it was like actual like World War II veterans.
Yeah.
From
we were there.
The Japanese and the Americans, and it was cool. Is like, of course, like Japanese didn't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't speak Japanese.
Right.
Like we couldn't really communicate. But it was one of those just like
you just knew,
just kind of being there. Like, we all understood. And especially like even watching from afar, like watching like these guys that are all like in their 80s and 90s, that like sure enough back then they were fighting.
Yeah, trying to kill each other.
And now they're like sitting right next to each other.
Talking, not talking much, but just the fact that they're
it's just like those kind of that silent nod.
Yeah,
just like
that's super cool.
It was really cool to watch.
Do you have any bizarre foods? Like, what was the weirdest thing you had that we wouldn't be accustomed to?
Weirdest thing I had? Well, a lot of people in France would go eat snails, but I never did that.
Yeah, I tried it when I was over there. It wasn't very good.
It
was just really sour and gross.
I couldn't get myself to try that. I never really tried anything weird.
Okay.
But when I was in Japan, I had sushi, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
And it was the best sushi I've ever had.
Sushi's good.
Like, it doesn't even come close to what I've ever had.
What's your favorite roll from over there? Top three. You can't think of one top three.
The top three, the basic tuna roll is just like, I mean,
tuna's awesome.
it's just simple, but it's so delicious. Yellowtail is
I don't think I've had
incredibly
that
delicious. That one was really good.
Sounds good.
I don't know, it was a little different from the tuna.
Okay.
And then any kind of like those, what was like the crunchy rolls.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the tempura.
Yeah.
Like maybe the tempura shrimp.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds really good.
I'm about to go eat again.
Awesome. Well, overall, when you came back, so how was adjusting to civilian life once you've been out?
That was a really unsuspectingly weird feeling.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I was so used to everywhere I went, and like when I was in the military, it was like I had to dress a certain way, I had to act a certain way. It was very even specific to where like, when it was super cold, like I couldn't put my hands in my pockets. It was just like a thing.
They were numb.
Yeah, and like you couldn't go certain places, or else like you'd get screamed at. Be like, hey, you can't be here.
Yeah.
And it was one of those weird things where like I'm at UNT, and I'm just walking around, and I always just had like this feeling in the back of my mind, like someone's gonna come out from a bush.
Hey,
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They're like, oh. And it literally took me like months to where it's like, no one's watching me.
I have freedom
like,
again. Yeah.
Like no one cares what I wear. No one cares how I act. I mean, I've always still thought about that, but like, no one's like watching me specifically for that. It was just a really weird, like, no one's about to like unleash on me. It was just something people just did up there.
You know, you're just used to it.
Yeah.
So you went to UNT, how many years were you there? Because you talked about you did Phoenix Online.
Yeah.
So were you there for 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about like 3.5.
So you were able to finish up there. And then, so then, overall, would you do it again?
I would. It was definitely like, I loved it. And it wasn't easy by any means, but at the same time, like, it's what made me the way I am today. And one of the biggest things I got from it is like, honestly, like personally, I usually don't talk about it much, because I don't, I didn't go to Iraq, I didn't go to Afghanistan, I didn't fight. But one thing, like, that I feel like changed me the most out of those 4 years was my main, like, about a year in, I auditioned for a specific spot to be one of the main Marine Corps funeral buglers at Arlington Cemetery, and I got on the list. So I was one of the very few people who got to do that. And it's one of those things where almost every week I would have to go to Arlington National Cemetery to play tabs. for someone's family. And granted, majority of those were like, they died of old age. So they were like grandparents or maybe just
older uncles and
yeah,
stuff like that.
It was something where it's like a normal funeral. And what was weird is like at that time, like that was a job. If I'm being honest, I saw it as it was my duty. Like it was part of what I was supposed to do. And then every now and then there would be the funeral where it was someone who wasn't a grandfather. It was someone who was a son. It was someone who was a brother, a father even.
With young kids,
yeah. And someone who was not of old age, whether by combat or sadly most of the time by suicide, if I'm being honest. And I still remember there's one day where I went out there and it was just like any other day. I just went to go play taps for a funeral. And I remember this one was different. Because usually there's like 15, 20 people. And usually it's a bunch of younger people. And this one, I went and there was like 200 people. And it was kind of like off the bat, I'm like, something's weird about this one. I noticed, like usually you see in the front row, like who the family is. Usually it's always like the sons or the grandchildren. And this one, like you could tell, it was like his parents. And it was something where I was just kind of like standing out there off in the distance, just waiting for my cue. And everything's still kind of going as normal. It just felt different. I remember the firing party fired off their volleys, and as soon as I played the first note of taps, I remember, like, and keep in mind, I'm like 50 yards away from them, but all I can hear is the mom bawling her eyes out.
Yeah.
And I still just remember, like, that moment changed everything. Where it was like, before I saw it, I was like, this was my job.
Yeah.
And now it's like, when I saw what that moment meant,
The meaning behind your job.
it's like, yeah, it's so much more than a job at that point, where it's like, as the person is being lowered, I'm the person playing the last thing they're going to hear. To me, I've heard taps, I don't want to know how many times. I mean, I'm spitballing probably like 300 times.
And that much you played it too.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like, I've played it 300 times. They're going to hear it once. And it was kind of that realization where like, this means so much more than I thought. That beat me down. I got depressed from it because I realized how much I had taken for granted. Or just what it meant, all that weight that was on my shoulders. And when it all clicked, it's like I had to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so eventually I changed my mind, where it was like realizing it's not a job. And like it was the greatest honor I've ever had.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, it's an honor to do that.
Yeah. And it was like, that's the thing where like I wouldn't wish that job upon anyone. Like it was the most stressful job I've ever had, of knowing like, this is the one time they're gonna hear taps.
Yeah, that man.
And I gotta play as perfectly as I can. Because I want, like, that's gonna be the only time they remember it. But at the same time, like I would absolutely go back and do it.
Yeah.
Cause like I feel like that was the greatest thing I've ever had the opportunity to do. So yeah, it was the most stressful, but the definitely most worthwhile thing I've ever
looking
done.
back at how much it meant to you and them. Okay. Was there an act of courage in anyone else that you have to share? Either that you witnessed or heard about?
Act of courage? Probably not in the way that you're looking for, just because, like, again, like, I mean, I didn't do anything overseas.
You still signed a blank check.
Yeah. It would definitely, like I do understand, I honestly didn't go knowing I wasn't going to go overseas.
Okay.
But,
there are people that get deployed over there, right? Because they have funerals and stuff over there, right? So do they have musicians that go over there or no?
Oh, sadly, over there, when they do the funerals, usually it's like they have a mechanism now where it's like it's a bugle, like there's a thing that's in the bell that you hit play. And I hate those.
Okay.
But also they were deploying people, but when I got there is when they started dying it down, because that was like 2009
Okay.
when they started kind of cutting back on the amount of military men overseas. And so when I got back in was when they started like stopping that. So they didn't even send anyone. I don't think last time they deployed anyone from DC was maybe like 2007.
Okay, so you missed it by a couple of years.
Yeah.
So describe military life in 3 words. Overall, tired thing, reflecting back.
Man.
The honor is probably going to be one of them.
Honor. Absolutely. I mean, stressful.
Yeah.
It's incredibly stressful. And I would think worthwhile. Just like, I feel like it's both like the best thing I've done, like the most useful thing I've done, the biggest thing that changed my life, and it was like, I got to do something. Whether I didn't go fight, but like, the amount of times I got to play taps for those families, like, that's something I would have never had the opportunity to do. So I feel like no matter what route you go in the military, like, you're doing something that, whether directly or maybe through a different route, is gonna like change someone's life.
Yeah, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize it till years later. Even still, like I'm still just like still kind of grasping like what it meant. Yeah, I think worthwhile. Even there's a better word for it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
For sure, but yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely just worth the effort, worth the stress, worth all the heartache, all the pain, worth everything.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for your
Yeah,
service.
absolutely, man.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.